Hey everybody, this is Lynna, and you are watching something here that I'm doing, trying to recap um, basically my last year. It's kind of like just kind of in a nutshell what's taken place, um, and looking back at the things that I've done, the decisions I've made, and the choices that I've had to live with. Starting off, I wanted to say this. I wanted to say that Mark and I are at such a great place. We have basically been able to save our marriage, right? It's so amazing to say that we were able to avert a divorce, right? We were able to look past the things that divided us and the things that separated us and, you know, grown together as a couple. I wasn't going to have him on the video, but I think I'm going to have him on the video because I think it's going to be an important thing for us to kind of go through a few things. Is it okay?
Yeah, sure.
Because there's just certain things that I personally just wanted to kind of, just put out there. Um, let's let's move this. It wasn't my plan to. I was just gonna do this alone because I had some thoughts that I wanted to go with, but it just seemed like, yeah, I think so. I could just so we could put this in the middle. Thank you, babe. Well, and I think that's better. Yeah. So.
Do you want me to close that door back there with the lights coming in?
Oh yeah. It's pretty bad. Oh, I know it doesn't completely go. There it goes. That's gone. Howdy, you two, Rebecca Perry. Hey,
Rebecca.
Hi, Rebecca. I just. Oh boy. I don't know what that was. Um, I just wanted to go through some of the things that we've had to encounter when we decided to take this road and call it quits yet again at that time back in January. I know that there was a lot of resentments and things that we had both been dealing with on a different levels and stuff. Trust issues that we had, him more so towards me, my indiscretionary spending, lack of responsible behavior, feeling that my independence was something that was being stepped on. Those were things that I was dealing with. But what do you think precipitated our breakup?
Well, I think last year was a very hard year for everyone with what was taking place. And I think that kind of exacerbated a lot of the problems.
So, like the pandemic and
Right,
stuff.
the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then, you were going through, I think maybe the pandemic created a lot of stuff in you. And then it was just, there was a lot of stuff that, with your spending and stuff like that, that you would do behind my back. And I just felt like that we didn't have that good communication as a couple, which I believe is very important to always be truthful and upfront. And I think that kind of like put us in a, like in separation mode.
Yeah, I think what happened is we were reading each other wrong in certain aspects individually as and we have been throughout our relationship kind of trying to work things through, but then not quite understanding how to get to that place because we know that we have magic together. We know that we love each other.
Very
We
much so.
know that we are twin flames and we know that we were brought together by the universe for a purpose and a reason. And I know I've always loved you and everything, and I know that I've always wanted it to work out, but I know also that I was dealing with a lot of issues in my own personal life with regards to a, um, a plethora of things, you know. Um, but the indiscretionary spending, the untruthfulness, the hiding, you know, things from him and stuff, that took a toll on our relationship. That took a toll. And I really wanted my independence, but, you know, what we're understanding what I'm understanding now that we've gotten back together is that as a couple, when you call yourselves a couple, that means being a couple in every way. It means being unified
That's what a
and
marriage
being
is.
one,
That's
you
what
know,
marriage
really,
is.
really being connected
Connected and truthful in every
and
way.
honest about
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
And I never knew that. I never, you know, I never understood how that worked completely. And I thought that I could keep some of that independence of my own, you know,
Right.
and have that autonomy. I would always say, why do you worry about me if I go running outside and stuff? Well, love says, gosh, I don't want you to get hurt. I know that you've been in a terrible accident and your body's compromised. And I know it, as you would say, from a medical perspective, you know, that you don't really understand the severity of your injury. And, you know, I took it as control. And yeah, we broke up several times because of those situations. But this last time when we broke up, you know, it was kind of bittersweet, you know, the way we ended up separating and stepping away from each other.
Yeah, I had to work through a lot of my own issues, religious baggage that uh, came with me from a very young age, and then just working through shame and all sorts of different things. That during the time of the pandemic, when I got very sick with the thing that everyone is trying not to get, um, it really did a number on my brain. I mean, I had a fever of 103 for nearly 3 weeks, and that wouldn't go away, and I lost a ton of weight, and I just felt really sick, and almost like I felt like, oh my God, I'm being punished. I need to like stop what I'm living the way that I want to live, and being who I am, and I have to be this other thing, and not to find excuses, but it was just a very, it just all hit me at once, and
Yeah.
I thought, well, I've got to go my separate way, and I've got to devote myself to this, God and whatever, and everything else is history. It all just
Yeah. I mean, we just kind of like the ball started rolling. And for those of you who don't understand what it's like to be a kind of person who like once you get like a certain instinct or a certain motivation or something triggers something, it just like I don't know, Mark would probably call it Aspergery or that compulsive behavior type, you know,
yeah,
obsession. It gets triggered, and then all of a sudden, you know, I know I've been like that my whole life. I know, like when I was first transitioning, and I was in the bouts of what I was going to do with my life and how I was going to transition and everything, I initially like broke away from um, my loved ones like a week when I was gone, and I'd come back and then I'd be gone again, and then the break completely happened. But um, it was like it was something that was triggered by that obsessiveness of like, oh, you don't like me being this way, then I'm gonna find a way to live my life however it is that I need to live it. And I mean, you start going and the things start rolling in a certain direction. Before you know it, you're knee deep, you're waist deep, you're neck deep, and then you're swimming.
Yeah, and it's like
You
something
know,
that you really have no control over, which is part of like the Aspergery um, mentality, whatever we want to call it, neurological complications that most people don't understand and will never understand unless you deal with it. You know, you're having to deal with that kind of, I hate to call it disorder, but whatever it is, you know, and it literally takes you for a ride,
yeah,
you know, and you do things that are just like,
you don't really put a lot of
yeah,
thought
yeah,
into what you're going to do. And so instead of carefully considering the ramifications of your actions, you just act
mm-hmm,
and you don't think about the consequences. Like, you know, when, for instance, I like drove off a cliff, I didn't think of the consequences of my actions of waking up and staying up so late and driving and so many hours and then causing my body to break down and not being able to make good rational judgments. Um, but these are issues that we deal with as human beings, and some of us have a higher tolerance for dealing with things, and others of us really don't. You know,
and it's something that happened again and again. I mean, when you and I split up this time around, you had two accidents, you know, and it just your your body you tried to working to run away from whatever it was that you were running away from, and you got hurt, literally. I mean, again, another accident. And from the moment that you and I met on that ICU ward, that I made a commitment to you that I was going to stay, and I made a commitment in my mind that I was going to take care of you no matter what. And it's always what I've been trying to do, is to take care of you, because A, we weren't married during that time, but then we got married 6 months later. So
yeah,
I always felt like you were my responsibility, and I would take a bullet for you. I would do whatever it takes, for me to protect you as your husband, and I mean, that's my role. I didn't see anything other than I was doing what I had to do to protect you.
yeah,
And if that meant protect you from yourself, whatever I had to do.
yeah. So I mean, there we are. Um, it's January. We both got sick with CO, whatever it is
Yeah,
they want to call it these days. And I recover after a week and a half, and you don't recover.
no,
We're dealing with religious implications of going back to church and the guilt and the shame and all of that stuff that you were dealing with. And I was like, oh no, we're not going there again, are we? And the whole detransitioning bug hit you. And then, you felt like you were obligated to God to
right,
do the work for you in your life and to direct you in the way you needed to go. And I didn't want to be a stumbling block for that, because I knew that nobody in your circle of people that you would then encounter would ever be accepting of me as your spouse, and all that. So um I was getting intolerant of you. I've thought things that you were doing were things that I didn't want to deal with anymore, and push comes to shove and we split apart
Yeah.
and I'm next thing I know I'm on my way to I don't know where. I didn't even think about where I was going. I didn't, you know, some people were telling me go back to Tennessee, go reconnect with your kids and go do this or, oh yeah, you need to like, make sure that, you can move on with your life and leaving Mark and blah blah blah, but make sure you get back to Tennessee. And I was like, I don't want to go back to Tennessee. I was looking at places for weeks on end about, in the Nashville area. Or I was also contemplating going to Minneapolis, where I knew people there and had some friends there. I was also thinking about just going to Salt Lake City, Utah for whatever reason. I don't know. It just kind of like stuck out to me. And I had done some applications for there and then I remembered the connection that I had with this person who lives across the lake here from me and you at this point in time. And I wanted to reach out to her because, as you guys know, this person who I'll call Jay, she had been an influential part of my life and had even paid for my breast augmentation surgery, which was odd that someone would spend that much money on me and stuff. But come to find out, that there has been this ongoing obsession with you, specifically
Non-stop.
with
Non-stop,
you,
yeah.
since I don't know when.
Since she saw me on Maury Povey's show.
That was back
2006.
This is 06.
Okay. Yeah.
This is before President Obama was president.
Quite a while. Quite a while.
This is a long time ago, yeah. Right? And this is like only 3 years into your transition. I don't understand. I don't get it. I do not have a clue as to what is going on in the brain of this person.
Back when we lived in 702 in Silver City, this person was communicating with you and trying to put all sorts of stuff in your head.
Back in early 2019.
Yeah. And it was like, try to make you feel like you should have some sort of resentment towards me because of your kids. And just like, slew, because this person...
Oh, it wasn't about kids. It was about narcissism and control. Yeah. And it was about, old videos of Jessica, old videos of
it's
Violet,
like that person has watched every video.
Putting things together and trying to kind of like paint this picture of you as being this controlling monster of a person, and I've called you monster and I apologize publicly for ever calling you that. But, it's like, and I get swayed emotionally and, just by what is being spoken and stuff. And I go, oh yeah, wow. Yeah. Oh, I see that now. Thank you for pointing that out for me, and I'm like, so grateful that someone would care enough. And then they send me a box of knives, because I was talking about how we only had, a few knives in the house and that we used to use the same utensils. And, they want to make sure that, I am able to experience the high life, and having things and stuff. And, gets me a comforter, bedspread, sheets. I get this package in the mail. I get like gifts, and
And for people to understand why this is all being brought back up again, because we were probably wondering why we keep talking about this J person, and kind of maybe go into
well, I mean, it's like this nonstop obsession.
right,
Um, we have some videos that we've done, that you've done,
right.
and it's like
Well,
this
they've even commented
obsession,
on
with you, and this person, Jay, we know it's you. We know that you have a certain way of doing things and a certain way of being so demeaning towards Mark, and it's like
it. So I
it's so unnecessary,
continues to
right?
watch the videos to make comments that are derogatory, and tries to like, and we know it's her because of her style. I mean,
Right.
this person ended up creating a character called James, and the beer man, a whole bunch of characters trying to lure me when I was detransitioned, so that they could like hurt me in the end. When this guy was going to say, "Oh, I met you and I don't like you from a distance," or something like that. I mean, this person is just not at all.
I was told back at that time that I was like, what? How do you do this? How do you come up with these personalities? And so she goes, oh, Lynna, I have a rich mind. And granted, she's a very smart lady. She worked in lots of, high positions of business and everything. And she has a very, very conditioned mind when it comes to intricate matters. She even spends time drawing these, painting these very intricate designs and stuff. Her mind is a very detailed thing.
I would
And
say the mind of a psychopath and a
at
narcissist.
this point,
I mean, that's because I wouldn't take my time to do something
at
like
this
that.
point, I don't know what to think about this person because they absolutely confound the living daylights out of me. I don't know what their obsession is with you and the hatred because I mean, I honestly know that there are lots more people on this planet that can be hated more so than for anything you've done. I mean, it's and like I was gonna say, I mean, just this rudeness that keeps on appearing on our YouTube channel. Be grateful as you've been nasty to people with differing opinions. Lynna seems so withdrawn and dependent upon you. You make Lynna miserable, and Maritza will appear soon. It's like, it's just, it's like it's temporary. Mark says, no, Lynna loves me, which I do very much. I mean, it's just ridiculous that,
That a person would want to interfere in somebody's marriage the way that. I mean, I remember when was it 2019 when I met them and came over here the last time, and I was talking about how much I've taken care of you when you got hurt, and all of a sudden she had this like really snapped personality type of thing where it's like, what am I, shop liver?
She got upset. We're driving back from the Mexican restaurant, and she got upset that Mark said, "Wait a minute, you didn't do anything compared to what I've done with Lynna." I mean, what, you handed her a few pills at the to recover and provided her a place to to lay her head and shot video of her while she was whatever.
I mean, it's like,
but it's like
I bathed,
took her in like when she didn't have a place to live, or I mean, and I was at the time very grateful, but now when I put everything together and piecemeal it all together, I just feel like this person literally did this out of like resentment of some kind of hatred towards you.
They wanted to get involved.
that they wanted to get involved in taking
Yeah.
what something you loved away
Yeah,
from you,
exactly.
like because they don't like you.
Yeah.
Person that would say to me that they wanted to gut you like a fish.
I mean, who does that? You know?
I mean, that's just crazy talk. And saying, literally telling me, Lynna, if I only had like a few years to live and I knew that I was on, like some kind of a, like life was gonna end for me because I had some end stage type, you know, illness or something, I wouldn't mind spending the rest of my years in solitary in some prison.
And I'm the psychopath.
If I ended up not, doing something very violent to your ex, I go, wow, I would never ever think of doing anything like that. I mean, I would never imagine that that would be something to contemplate. It's like, oh, Lynna, you don't know how many days I was holding myself back from taking a flight to where you guys were living and just just taking you from there and doing something violent. And I'm like, what, like,
and they call me a loser. They call me a loser, and they call me all sorts of names. And it's like,
something
lady,
violent.
You got something going on there, lady, that you really need help with.
It's like, what in the world? Mm-hmm. I don't understand this kind of behavior.
And it's like YouTube trolling channel after channel. Every video that I make, they have to go in there and say something negative and
coming up with all these invented names for YouTube channels. Like we just had one, this last one, Maya Guns. And
then they're not very bright because of the things they say. They mention Shalon, like what was it, the one?
Yeah, I mean, but like, Lynna, you are brainwashed and really should get help. You came to Shalon to get away from him and did great. You are codependent upon a loser. I mean, I don't see.
Like, I'm her husband, for crying out loud, loser. And it's like.
And then she writes, 4 hours ago, which was like an hour ago, Maritza, Lynna was lonely and you moved in as usual. Next time you have a breakup, don't call me. I wish she'd be free of you.
I mean,
okay.
Put two and two together.
Here's the background. The background is simple. When I broke up with you, I literally texted her and said I was sorry. I said, Jay, I am so sorry. Things went the wrong way with us. And, I just received that voicemail that you sent me a year ago. And I'm just so like sad that our relationship broke up and, from, as friends and stuff. And it was like chirp, chirp, chirp. And then finally I'm on the road and I receive a picture of her dogs and she says, we'll talk soon. And I was feeling like, oh, thank God, finally somebody, she's gonna like open her heart up and stuff. And then she goes and tells me later how everything that you had said when I was making that video thanking her for her hospitality, that all of that was a concocted lie, that what you had said was actually you trying to spin the story and paint her as the bad person.
Who do you know as a liar? I mean, you see what she does and what she says, making up characters and making up YouTube, and it's like, oh look, Lynna, what I'm writing now, and I'm all this stuff that she constantly does. Who do you know as a liar?
I would say it would be her, because you have been honest with me from the beginning. It's like almost too honest to the degree sometimes. It's like, Honest Abe, asking his wife if she's fat, and he's like, yeah, I mean, instead of like not saying, because an Asbury person is going to be
I'm brutally honest.
Brutally honest,
Yeah, I
right?
don't, and that gets me into trouble every single time. But a liar, I'm not. You know,
Right.
that's not my MO.
And I know for those of you who think, oh, Lynna, you're obsessed with this situation, and why don't you just put it down already? Just give it up. Well, that's why I'm making this video, because I just want to say that, why? Why?
Yeah, just
Why
quit
are
already.
we continuing this constant circular charade game? I mean, you're across the lake, Jay. You are literally within view of me. If I were to look over the other side of that hill, I could see your house, right? But this person literally reappears on our YouTube channel every now and then.
Well, what did she tell you? It's like, oh, I've got the fort. I'm holding the fort. I'm watching all their video.
I was like, okay, moving on from Mark. We're done. We're moving forward. I'm trying to get my life in order. And she's like, Lynna, I'm still going to be watching M's channel because I want to make sure that, nothing is said. And, if we need to lawyer up, we will, to take care of this person, and stuff. And I'm like, look, Jay, honestly, I'm trying to move past this situation. They've got what they've got. They're doing what they're doing. If God's called them to whatever they're doing, whatever they do, they do. And I'm like, let me just, right? I'm just trying to allow my life to unfold and move forward. And of course, I didn't do a good job of it. I don't know, Jay, I know you're going to watch this, but I don't know what life you thought you were watching unfold in a positive manner. But my life wasn't that one, because my life was getting more cluttered. My life was getting more convoluted. My life was getting more complicated. My life was getting more confusing. You know, I moved here, which was the biggest mistake that I could have done, was to move to this area. Literally, it was a huge mistake on my part. I should have stayed in Arizona. That was my first gut feeling, was to just, all this talk about moving, all this talk about this and that and going here and there. The furthest I should have gone was Tucson, and that was it. I should have just stayed in the area where I was living, because I liked it there and I didn't mind it there. But, I just had this bug again to just go, because I didn't feel wanted or loved and stuff. And I just wanted to start over for the umpteenth time. And I came out here to just apologize for some. Apparently, I didn't need to apologize for anything, because everything that I thought about Jay was right. Either she's obsessed with me sexually,
something weird,
relationally, something weird, or she's obsessed with you.
Yeah. Or both.
Or both.
Or both.
Right? I mean, it's like, it just absolutely. And then the concept of, thanks, Brianna, says, does her paying for breast augmentation offset any of the harassment? It doesn't. It doesn't excuse her from constantly doing things to disrupt our life in so many ways. My life has been disrupted because I literally moved here, because this is the area where she's like just across the lake. So that's only like a half hour away from here, literally, to drive. And I would never have come to this area, which is pretty remote. There's no, other than Walmart, there's really no other big box store, or
That's
there isn't even a
dangerous.
McDonald's here.
Dangerous with the car that you had, which
Dangerous to say,
proved that
yeah.
the car got messed up. And wintertime here is just. I mean, even with a 4-wheel drive, you're putting your life on your hands with a long drive that you have to go into town.
Yeah, driving to Wenatchee, you're taking your life into your own hands.
Every day.
The
it's
high
like playing
wind,
Russian roulette.
The goats, every day we see goats, or the mountain sheep or whatever they want to call them. There's deer out here. There are falling rocks. There was an earthquake in 1871 which dropped a piece of the mountain into a river and blocked it for like months on end. This isn't a very friendly area. For one, I live in an area that is very fire prone.
Mm-hmm.
So
we've had fires also.
We have had fires. I have had to shovel my way out of this area of my driveway. Mm-hmm. The living conditions here, it just hasn't been a good situation. I regret
revolving doors of people coming in, elitist type of people coming in for vacationing, who have they don't care about the people that live here permanently.
I mean, recently, we literally have had stakes put up along the grassy area by those people that live above us that come here maybe once in a blue moon. They own a piece of this area, of one of the units, and they just make sure that they let you know that you're not an owner, because before they left to go back to the Seattle area where they're from, they set up stakes here and literally told us it's for the geese, so that the geese won't get on the grass and poop on it. And I literally haven't seen one geese. I haven't seen one duck even make its way to the grass. So it's just this constant, and then our landlord didn't allow us to get air conditioning in a 115-degree heat wave. They're getting a piano here was an act of God.
Getting it out
was an act of God. And getting a piano brought down here. My person from across the lake, Jay, she says, Lynna, the reason that I wanted you to get a piano was not just because I wanted you to be able to play it, was because I knew that if I could get you a piano, being able to move out of here would have been that much harder, so you could stay. Because last time you just up and left and it was easy for you to go. This time I wanted you to be a little grounded so that you couldn't just leave. Weigh me down with an assortment of a family of 12 serving size of plates and cups and glasses, and you guys saw it. And she said it was me being able to nest, right, to make this place my little chick pad. And it's maybe we could do that with a set of 4 plates and cups.
And plus, this place is not even a place where anybody would want to stay here permanently, because it's a vacation spot. You can't, during the wintertime, you're pretty much closed in. This is not a place you could call home. But it was I don't know what got in her head that she could just sit there and pollute you with all this stuff constantly. It's more stuff and more stuff. I mean, when I walked in here back in June, I was I couldn't breathe because there was just so much stuff all over the place. I'm like, this is so small, and it's just
it really just weighed me down. And I mean, it wasn't enough for her to get me a vintage 1975 old beater 10-speed. She did her research and she found another thing for me to buy, and I went because she was doing it out of the kindness of her heart, right? And I thought that it was just her being considerate. She gets me set up with a patio table, an umbrella,
Yeah.
chairs, another bicycle, and then I get the bike bug and I'm like, wait, that's not enough. I need a mountain bike. I go and get a mountain bike. So there I am with 3 bikes, right? I never even rode those bikes. Maybe one time I rode the old one and the crank fell off on my way to her house. And it was just like, I mean,
So Tracy says using a piano for an anchor. Yeah.
basically, yeah. I mean, it's like, and I think all of this, right, is not done because she appreciated me as a person. All of this was done
To get it.
to get at you
Yeah.
because she hates your guts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and she wants to replace what
hates
you and I have in somehow, some way. And even though she knows she'll never have anything romantic with you, but she wants to like, oh, like that comment. What am I, shop liver? When I said that I took care of you, and then thanks to the way that I took care of you, that your body heals better because I took good care of you, feeding you the whole fasting and the whole way of changing your eating habits from junk food to more healthier foods and things of that nature. Well, she didn't like that at all. She wants you always, as she says, "Oh, I can't believe he never got you a piano." All the like,
oh yeah, no, I can't believe he didn't, like, knowing how much you love to play the piano, that he wouldn't have gotten you a piano. Well, for one,
he never lived
wherever we lived, we didn't have access to putting a piano in the place. Like, I can't imagine having a piano in Fort Lauderdale.
No, the little studio.
We did get a keyboard.
Yeah.
Right. I can't imagine being able to have a piano in the 5th wheel.
No, that would have been pretty. Yeah.
That wouldn't have worked either. Or the villa.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, on the road. No piano.
No piano on the road.
I guess we could have put it in a U-Haul.
I know.
I don't know.
But it's just what she was doing is trying to like villainize me, as she continues to do with these crazy accounts that she creates, troll accounts, and making me look like I'm a loser. How can Lynna be with a loser and blah blah blah? And it's like,
I mean, there were a bunch from this person named Babu or something like that, and I deleted them because I didn't want you to see them. They were just talking about, you being a loser and being this or that and something negative, something really crude and rude. And quite honestly, Jay, immature. I mean, you are 70 plus years old, born in 1950, 71, right? And you literally have no reason for doing this. I mean, grow up
and stop the
literally.
Obsession already.
What is the obsession?
I don't know. Can any of you tell us what the obsession would be? What is it?
I mean, you can call me. The phone line is open, but you're a coward. Yeah. I mean, literally, a person that lives across the lake devises all these different personalities and names and usernames and YouTube channels and all these different things. I mean,
and if she was really a friend when you and I got back together again, I mean, because there's people that you were friends with, and they're like, hey, it's your marriage. No one's going to tell you. I'm
glad you're happy.
Yeah, I'm glad you're happy. Well, she's not a friend because she's not glad you're happy. What was the last thing she said? I won't stop till what was that? I'll be glad when you too. She said something. What was the last thing they said?
It was just, it was this. It was next time.
I wish she'd be free of you.
Yeah, I wish she would be free of you.
And it's like, that is all that this person strives for, is to, break us up, try to break us up, or try to she's happy when we're not together. And she's trying to constantly one up, because she knows the love you have for me, and even though we may have fights online and we break up and whatever else, obviously there's love, or we wouldn't get back together again. And we were both very mature at one point, and we have grown and learned and evolved and are growing even more.
We have, and we have really learned a lot through this time, and I'm just like so grateful for him for coming back into my life to make my life so much more than it can be alone. And I know that he's the person that I'm supposed to be paired up with. He's my other half. I mean, that's why we have the bracelets and the necklaces that we have, because we are each other's half. And it's a beautiful thing. We've worked through a lot of pain. We've worked through a lot of issues in our life, and I don't know why anyone would say that I tolerate you. I love you. I will never stop loving you. I loved you the moment I met you. I loved you the moment I heard your voice. I mean, and it was love for me at first sight when I saw you. So,
I mean, I would have not.
I literally, my heart leaped when I saw you, when I saw that teddy bear in the ICU, and my life will never be the same. Same here. I don't know what anyone would say about being a person that's just tolerating someone. I love you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I want to, just live and be happy and have our life and to share memories, not things, between us.
Yeah. And well, see, that's
it.
Jay is very materialistic. I mean, and just like a hoarder, if you would tell me, if you ask me. And, she thought that she could buy you, literally, because, and it's like, you don't buy people's love, by buying things. Like you said, you make memories together. You show each other how much you love each other by being there, by just, I don't know. It's something that you and I have, and I'm never going to buy you by buying things. I'm going to give you my love, my undevotional love, and something that she doesn't have with anyone.
And the thing is, oh, that is so sweet. Love both of you. Thank you. That's how I feel. That's what I feel. And when we first got back together, there was this magic that we were having together, and it was a beautiful, unrestricted flow of just love and appreciation. And I want to live there every day with you. I want to have that type of connectedness where we can connect to each other even in the dark, shadowy parts of our life.
Exactly. You always have an open heart, because if you close up, then a relationship cannot flourish. So you have to open up, and through all the times, through the good, the bad, even things that may be hurtful, you open your heart and you come from a place of love, and you're looking at the person with eyes of love, not ego, not competition, not like, oh, what's the motive here? No, because there's no motive. When you love someone, you have no ulterior motive. It's just pure love, and you're gonna make mistakes as a couple, and all couples have disagreement, because we're like children evolving, literally. And it's like, when you're kids and you don't share, or you don't know how to play in the sandbox, you have to evolve and grow, and that's what relationships are for, to help one another grow and evolve.
Absolutely. And I just want anyone who thinks that this relationship is just this other thing that you guys might think that it might be, it is nothing like what you think. This relationship has been forged in the fires of so many things. We've been through so much together, experiences. We've been through so many emotional roller coasters. We've been We've been all over the country with each other. We've lived with each other for 3 months at a time in a vehicle, little car, a little Prius. Why don't you guys try to do that with somebody that you love? We did it and we were thriving. We did it and we were loving it. It was like just a wonderful time. People even like our page on Gypsy Blue Nomads, even to this day. We're getting likes on our page because they saw, that
The
magic,
magic,
right?
yeah.
I mean, we made videos together at that time. I mean, there was no, anything. We just had a great time.
And we've been through so much, and it's
Yeah, I mean,
got us closer, And
yeah, we work together now. We don't argue when we're working. We just like work together. We like being around each other. I mean, now I think about like, going jogging. I wouldn't want to go jogging without him. I wouldn't want to go, anywhere without you. And it's different. And I don't know what your ideas are, that Mark just goes flip-flopping back and forth just because it's just like this game and stuff. Don't you understand there's pain involved, there's traumas involved, there's guilt involved, there's so many outside circumstances. But let me tell you, this person's not going to change back to anything other than being who we know he is. And this is the person that this person is. This is who I am. And no one has the right to judge either of our choices, regardless of what we do or don't do. Exactly. It's like all this, I remember there was a person that used to watch us and stuff and used to like pretend like to be your friend and my friend and stuff. And I remember one time we had broken up in 2018 and she's like, oh, we got back together in July. She's like, oh, Lynna, and you guys, I need to talk to the people that follow you and find out, what the truth is, because, and it's like this conspiracy group of obsessionists, like, that
people
that are like totally like digging, into our lives and stuff. And they're like, oh no, that's not what those people say. And it's like, who are those people?
I know.
If you can't talk to the horse, or the person who the life is about, then who are you talking to?
It's crazy.
And it's like the obsession goes deep, because when I befriended Jay again, she told me that you had spun a story and it was a lie, and that it was all because, like you were controlling me, and that, you wanted to paint her in a bad light so you could get me away from all my friends, all the many friends that I have. I only have like maybe one or two people that I talk to online anymore. And those people know who they are, and they've been proven to be truthfully friend material. Right. Like, when we've broken together off, they haven't really sided with you or with me, but they've just kind of like stayed neutral, on the side.
Because you can't
right.
pick sides between husband and wife. You can't, because
even when they say they don't love each other, don't believe it. Come on. You guys don't know what it's like, that feeling that they have with each other and stuff like that. But Jay immediately said, Lynna, I've been saving this information. Lynna, here's information about your daughter. She's in college and she's in the chorale, and here's an image of her that I have screen grabbed at 1541 of this video, and take a look and watch this, and here's your son playing football, and here's his picture. And I'm like,
that's invasive, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's invasive. That's somebody with a lot of issues.
That's a lot of time.
Well, that's what.
A lot of time to be able to do that. Yeah. Lynna, look at, here's your, and this is that. And I was like, oh my goodness.
Do you all find that to be normal? Seriously?
Here's a picture of your son married, to his new wife, and here's the family photo, and
That's obsession.
Lynna, why don't you look? This is the records of your mother's house and how much she paid for the house, and I'm like,
yeah, that's scary.
it's obsession.
Yeah, big time obsession.
Jay, across the lake, hello.
Hang the hat, just
put it down already.
It's just like,
move away.
Yeah.
This is getting creepy.
By the minute.
We literally fear for our lives here. That's one of the reasons we're moving, is because we want to be away from that obsessed person over there across the lake.
And never let them know where we live.
Never. Yeah. And don't ever think that now that I put things together, that I will ever consider you even have been a friend.
No, friends don't do
friends don't do what you've done. Yeah. You were something, but not a friend. Yeah, you paid for my boobs and everything, but my goodness, there was a tea chaser in Arizona that was obsessed with this trans woman and paid for her nose job, but it wasn't because
he wanted to be the friend.
He wanted to be a friend. He had other motives. Yeah. People do things. Yeah. And now I know that you did things for other reasons. It wasn't to make my life any better. It was
to get whatever. At me, to prove that she was better than me, and that she had more invested in you. And it's a really weird.
We're walking through Nashville back in 2019 on our way back to Oregon, and where we were going to move to. Regretfully, we even did that. But walking, and she posts some comment and says, Lynna, I feel bad because I could never walk like that with you. And it's like why would you be walking with me?
In her mind,
we're not a couple.
In her mind, there was just something.
We never were a couple.
When you and I got back together now, and she sent you a video, you used to be mine.
Yeah.
She was never yours, Jay. Never will be, never was, and never will be.
She used to be controlled by me? Is that what you mean? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, she's calling me a controlling person. She was a controlling, manipulative person. And that's what she does. That's what she's done with other people, and
so we don't want anything to do with you. No one is ever going to contact you, look for you, try to make any communications with you, because obviously, just like your other friend in Portland, you're both crazy. You both need psychological, psychiatric help. Yeah. And I don't even know if that'll do it.
Yeah, and just please stop commenting on my videos and creating all sorts of trolling accounts. I know it's you. It only can be you.
There's no other person who's shown this degree of obsessive attention on the life.
It's beyond me. I'm laughing because it's wow.
Literally, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't get it. It's
that outfit looks so hot on her, doesn't it? Yeah. It's
well, you're helping me again. See, this is what happens, is that when I go on my own, I end up just losing myself.
In debt, starts to eat
shoving
whatever.
Out. I end up in debt. I end up
killing herself almost.
Nuking my car. My car was totaled. I don't own it. I don't drive anymore. I end up being obsessed over stupid things and getting an accumulation of junk that we have to get rid of. I had to get rid of this piano had to get rid of a bunch of things.
Slew of stuff. It's like,
you know,
oh goodness
and it's
gracious.
like, and then he comes back into my life. I get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
I learn to just do with less and to be grateful for what I have. I, there's so many things that take place that allow me to become a better person. You make me a better person, and I'm super happy. I'm super excited that we're moving away from here, to a different location, away from the toxicity. This area, I don't know. There are people have been talking about Portland in the past on our YouTube channel, but the PNW, the Pacific Northwest, you all can keep your state.
I know.
All I've run into is rudeness, nosy people
that can't drive,
people that,
oh my goodness,
just are. Well, I can't say
well,
you can, but it's like your life is in your hands every time you take a drive
it's like
down
every
to
time,
Wenatchee.
I'm like, and
It's
I'm
like
a good
cars
driver.
just zipping around thinking this is the
I would have had
Autobahn.
10 accidents already had I not been a good driver and avoiding all these crazy people, but it's just
the most concentrated amount of Karens
That's
in
typical.
the world.
Instead of
live
Washington,
in
Carrington.
Washington.
Carrington.
I was looking around today at Dollar Tree when we went to, and I was like, there's a Karen. There's a Karen at the register. There's a couple Karens at the store. There's a Karen at the gas pump. It's like this place is like
loaded.
Karenville.
Yeah, and snitches, and it's just like, oh my goodness, let's get out of here, Yeah, soon, very soon.
I regret moving here. I regret ever coming back to Washington. This place is nothing but a bad omen, right? I mean, even the natives call the lake here cursed, right? They talk about legends of like monsters and stuff, and I mean they wouldn't even like say good things about it. And this area is just full of some of the most uppity, stuffy, snobby people. I mean, we've had to deal with it all summer long. Snobby people after snobby people coming out here to recreate and have a good time, and just like,
no, they don't know no boundaries, and it's
none.
You have no privacy, nothing, and it's just.
And if you're a Washington local, I am so sorry, but I need to speak the truth, and this is the truth for me. I have never come across a more rude collection of individuals in one state, and I've lived in many, as Washington. And Oregon. Oregon's the next one, right? But it's like Washington takes the cake. Arizona, I have nothing bad to say about it. Everybody, even in the midst of the whole Trump fever, flags flying everywhere.
I'll take that any day of the week.
Everybody was super nice.
I know.
There.
I'll take that any day of the week.
When we first got there, right? Remember?
Yeah.
We got there from Oregon. And there was this homeless guy who was at a Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm. He was so nice.
He was like, "Hey, how you guys doing? And
we're
you guys
like,
need help?" And I was like, "Oh my God!" And then people just like saying hello to you, and people nice at the pool. It's like here. Here.
And it's like,
the moment I got here, the guy from upstairs, he's the native guy that rented here in the winter months. I'm driving this car, up to my deck, right? Because I'm disabled. I can't really go hauling stuff back and forth, right? Boxes and stuff. So I drive on the snow, right? You can't even tell you can't even tell where the road begins and the snow ends. And I'm driving up to the deck, and he snitches on me to the landlord. He says, what he says, and then I get a text from the landlord, and she's like, Lynna, make sure that you don't drive your car up to the front deck. And I was like, I was just unloading things, right? And it's like snitches everywhere. It's like today, yesterday, person stakes up the place over with the grass. She's leaving. She says, don't pull them up. And I'm like,
hey, we're going to be moving.
And we're going to down, but then put them back up again. Yeah. Get a text from the landlord. Oh, by the way, FYI, those stakes are up there for a reason. And, the ducks and the that took somebody to literally call the landlord, tell them that we found out. It's like Snitchville.
Yeah. And just the fact that in this place, they're so with the covering on your face and the thing you're supposed to be getting, and everyone wants to snitch on everybody, and they're creating this center of, what is it, a camp, a lockdown, or somewhere
in
so I'm like, I can't get
Washington
out of here fast enough.
No, we can't leave this place fast enough. And we're so grateful that this episode in the life of the Cummings is over. Yeah. Never again are we coming back to this godforsaken P&W. This has just not been a good experience. I totaled my car here, literally. And why? Well, I stayed in this place because I had a friend across the lake who recommended this place. She found it. Jay, you found this place. I didn't find this. She found it. And knowing what she knows about this area, she still recommended that I, without a car that was all-wheel drive, the most like summery kind of car that you could own, a little Fiat 500 with no real vehicle for driving in snow, recommended that I come down here and stay here. Instead of saying, you know what, Lynna, it's probably not a good idea to move to a mountainy kind of like, I mean, I have a 4-wheel drive myself, but, maybe you should move to a warmer location, like at least Wenatchee, where it's not as, mountainous.
And you have to do that horrific drive in the wintertime, which a lot of people have accidents.
Yeah.
I mean, even before the wintertime, a lot of people, because of the way people drive, I mean, you sit there driving, I don't speed. I drive the speed limit, speed limit is 60. I might do 64, 65 just because of, the downhill, whatever.
You saw a motorcycle going 180, literally.
I know. I mean, people just they get in
God.
front of you. This is, by the way, this is only a, one way each way. So you're not supposed to cross the yellow line. You get people that are so anxious that get in front of you. They could cause a car accident. I've had people like literally this close trying to pass the person on the left lane, almost head on.
I know. You looked at me and you're like, this ain't happening. What is this?
It's crazy.
And it's on a daily basis.
I mean, you take your life in your own hands every time you drive that road.
Not to mention the wild animals.
And not to mention that you can't be going that fast. That's the reason I don't like going fast, because if you have to swerve for any reason, because
like falling
rocks or these freaking mountain goats or lambs, whatever they're called, it's like, hello, do people not honor their life?
They don't.
It's nuts. Totally nuts.
It's crazy. But
anyway,
I think I've exhausted this whole thing. And I hope, Jay, that we can put this to rest. No, I'm not your friend. No, I won't ever want to ever communicate with you. No, I don't care if you ever want to, never want me to reach out to you again. I could care less.
And no, we're not going to break up. And no, I'm not returning back to anything. It's like,
I mean, it's just to get at you.
I know.
I mean, it's just to get at you.
She doesn't have that power.
No,
she really doesn't have that power. But it's just like, enough already. Just, it's like I keep having to like. Well, you blocked a bunch of her thingies before, and it's like
Babu Bear,
yeah,
Mia Guns, all these different persons,
I know.
they go, oh, she goes, Lynna, the whole time we were like, that um, we stopped talking and everything after you got back together with Mark. I never once really commented. I was devastated. My girlfriend was like really concerned about my mental well-being, and she just helped me and coached me along, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, oh what, okay. um and I never really put any kind of YouTube name and commented on any of the videos that your ex has done and everything. And it's like, yeah, okay, but this is what you do. This is how you operate.
Yeah.
This is what you've done for other things.
Yeah.
So if you're consistently being that way, I mean, because when we were broken up, she and her other friend in Portland were having a field day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They were sending pictures of you, making you into an alien. They were making cartoons of you. They were taking screen grabs of you, and it's like they were like, she's like, oh, obsessed. I don't want to send that stuff to you, but Jay and I over there in Portland, we have a great time because we just like, I mean, and that Jay in Portland was obsessed with you too.
Oh gosh.
It's like two Jays in the Pacific Northwest, awful people, obsessed with you over and over and over. And it's like, it's like, stop it already. I know. It's like, enough.
What is it that, what?
Well, you're good looking.
Jay doesn't think so across the lake, but
no, she didn't. And it offended me because I'm like, what do you mean? Everybody else does think so. Why? What is it? Yeah, well, he's just not my type. It's like, well, Jay,
my type either, Jay.
You're not his type either, nor mine. So, but it's. Can we put this to rest,
please?
Seriously, it has no need.
You can't continue to beat a dead horse. It's dead, So let's stop.
But if you want to keep doing it, I understand because you're crazy. At this point, you're just crazy.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
Just crazy. Just like I told the other Jay in Portland, you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I have been so busy. Just saw this came up.
Hey, that's Penny.
Yeah.
How's it going, Penny? How you doing?
Yeah. We'll do other videos. They won't have anything to do with this. They'll be much more insightful, much more helpful. This is just my rant and my regret of ever coming up here in the first place. Yeah. I wish I would have done things, played things differently, but in my rush to action.
She's good, working a lot. Yeah, we have been too, but we're wrapping it up because we're calling goodbye to the state of Washington and we're getting ready to leave. So we're kind of wrapping it up.
Yeah, I just wanted to button up some things, and the biggest thing is that person across the lake who's keeps being like an Achilles heel to us on the comment section. Yeah. And it's like trying to get my attention. Well, you got it. Now, can you leave me alone? Right? You got it. I responded. Of course, you're going to spin it however you want to and be all offended and everything. But, I have to call a spade, and, the hassles that you've created in my life, regardless of however you want to see them, the degree of suffering that you've created for me, moving here, believing you, believing your lies, believing what you said, and trying to manipulate me and trying to get me to just become this obsessive, materialistic individual. It just hasn't been helpful for me.
But life moves on, and we got better and greater
We're
things
moving
ahead. And I'm looking forward to our future.
We have so many things that we're looking forward to. Better health.
Yeah, definitely.
Better place to live.
Yeah.
Just a better relationship.
And growing, growing.
More love.
More. If you pass through here, please stop by.
Oh, we're going to skip California.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't be driving. We'll be driving away from California because California is another state that we don't really want to go back to.
Yeah.
Just because of all that.
Yeah, what's going
stuff
on
going on with the
we're going to a
leftist
more
controls.
Yeah, no more leftist control state. It's like not for us.
No.
Freedom is important. Very important.
It is. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah,
that's it for now.
Thank you guys for tuning in, and like I said, we'll have a lot more stuff. Happier videos. This was just something that my beloved needed to get out of her system.
Well, I just wanted to kind of put it to bed because it's just something that plagues us, and just really just trying to get this person to just stop. Just stop.
And they don't know how, though. They don't know how.
They haven't stopped since 2006 with you.
Yeah. Obsessed. Totally.
All right, you guys. We're gonna
bid you goodbye for now.
I totally get it. So happy you're happy. I will check in soon with my new contact info. Hugs and love. Gotta go.
All right, take care, Penny. Be well. All right, guys. Well,
all right.
We're
done.
We're done. We've spoken for an hour, 17 minutes. Yeah, we want to watch the news as the whole Gabby and Brian situation thing it's really been.
Yeah.
So I think,
and we'll have more to say about that.
On another video.
Yeah, because we were vanished for a while too.
Even though we didn't have a van, we lived in a car, but we were all the places that they've been to and everything else. What is it?
A little gnat.
A little gnat. That's another thing. So many gnats.
No bananas in here anymore.
Spiders. I don't know what the heck they do. When we open the door, they come in. There's a slew of gnats all the time.
It is a lake.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Take care, guys.